And welcome to KritzKast. Tonight we are watching some of the ozfortress Highlander Season 1, the Premier Division. It's the first season of Highlander for Ozfort, if you don't count the old, what was it called, Community League way back. But either way, it's going to be a heck of a game. We've got the semi-finals coming in. My name is the Lampshade22, and with me tonight I have Mr. Shakey. How you doing, mate?
Hello. Good. Snazzy, how about you?
Oh, cruising through life. I spent the whole day in the garden.
Bonk it up 1, 2, 3 in this mid.
A bit of a beast of a demo man he is. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Highlander Season 1 Premier Division playoffs commencing. Well, I mean, they commenced last week, but you know, either way, we're getting into it. See, Flo taking out Shy or Platinum immediately. Whole bunch of stabs going on. There's players down on both ends, but it does look like I think Monster Energy are coming out on top. But I've said that, and then they've lost a lot of players. I don't know.
Yeah, neither team really wanting to go forward at this point. They're both quite tucked away behind the rock. I think we're finally going to see some pressure from T-Zon. All on the point alone, but Bonk is going to... Oh, he gets stabbed by Centaur to shut that down. So I think, yeah, Rascals are trying to aggress onto the point. Now, Bonk's in a really aggressive position. That's something from 2 seasons ago. He just walks up on the right-hand side of the point and takes so much space. So, yeah. First cap, probably going to fall to... I say that. I was just about to say the sentence. The first cap going to fall to Rascals. And then Bonk just walks out because he's getting chipped down from rock by a brass beast in the form of Typo. So, yeah, now Monster Energy is just regressing onto the point.
They're definitely giving it a red hot crack. Both of these teams really playing quite tight. Like, they're dropping players, but they're not really, suffering as a result of it. Both teams having the same sort of advantage that we've been looking at so far. That said, JP picks up the demo on rasgals, and we see the Uber go out on both teams there. It's actually looking a bit better for Monster Energy, I want to say. But Andy Roo doing his absolute darndest to really secure that by going in for stabs every which way.
Yeah, the Pyro versus the Demo Scout trade doesn't really work out great for either team, but Bisha Minty got kind of caught out on the tail end of that fight, but the rest of his team were able to capitalize off the distraction he caused. So yeah, it's going to be the first cap for Monster Energy after, it seems like 10 years. Both sides just playing a bit passive. JP gets a nice pick on Taurus. Nothing really much happening. Uber's ad in the side of Shy, 30%. Probably going to use it. She was quite good at counting Ubers and being aggressive off those. But as we see, that huge bomb comes in from the side of Raylan, and he gets the force.
Yeah, he gets the force, but almost immediately Andy Roo picks up the medic on the other side. But it is looking a little bit better for them in the tail end of this one. It looks like they picked up quite enough players to actually push back forward and get the cap. So it'll be about a minute off the point. So in another couple of minutes, we'll see what happens, you know what I mean?
I was going to say, Shy is building quite well. I thought Tokos would have ad, but as soon as Shy spawned, she started building. So the Ubers are going to be about even. A bit of a munch ad, 15% for Tokos, but I feel like that's not really going to be able to be capitalized off. They're walking to the point now on the side of Monster Energy. They're getting pressured back, and again, Typo are forced to be reckoned with. A really interesting choice on the Brass Beast. I'm not sure if that was something that they planned for, but it's working out quite well for them because not really many people can contest him. I mean, he's still sitting on 300. Finally, he gets chipped down and is forced to back out. But yeah, such a presence on that rock.
I mean, Typo is a bit of a beast, so I can imagine why he would be wanting to run the brass. It's just in keeping with his name, but it definitely is making a massive difference. And Shy now with that disgusting, basically full ad. That's going to be another bit of a difference coming as they push forward to recap this one. I think they're probably going to maybe try to hang on to it just in hopes, using it defensively. Typo actually back up now, not on the brass beat.
Oh my, there is no way Tokos just he just saw the entire Ubid combo of Monster Energy and he just yep, I'll press S and I'll be alright. I don't know why he was so far forward, but yeah, that was a bit of a missed opportunity from Monster Energy to really punish Tokos for that. So the Uber's Leapfrog has got about it's not even going to be that much. Shy's building really well.
She's building crazy quick, man.
Yeah, so only going to be about a 30% ad for Tokos. They probably are going to use it. They just look like they're spamming it out. sussing it out before they push in with the ad here.
And they picked up Typo nice and early as well. They have lost a couple players of their own, but they're sort of pick classes, the Soldier and the Scout. They've picked up enough players on the other side now, including JP and Bishaminti, to be able to sort of push in. They're just going to be fearful for Andy Rue over on the concrete area there. He's been having a field day playing with them so far. But they have recapped the point. Now, you know, they're going to run that time down a little. I think it'll probably equalise, and then we'll see another fight.
Yeah, so like you said, Uber's even, Bonk standing on his infamous spot on the far right. You know, just like such a good position to spam and control the point. Bisha, like tries to touch the point for a bit, get a bit of cap time. JP takes out Bird. It's going to be making sure that Tokos is always going to be in dangerous waters from now on. As we see, yeah, the push comes in, a huge bomb in from Lizard Wizard, and Andy capitalizes off the back of that, beefs the stab onto Bonk, but his team is surely going to be able to get some ground on this. Uber gets used out first onto Bonk, demo solo, and a much better Uber for Shy now. Yeah, Tokos is going to have to run out the behind house now.
Yeah, I mean, the Ubers did get kind of traded on the point there in a way. It does look like the Caps come back the way of, what are they called? Bloody Monster Energy, sorry. Had to look over it.
Huge bomb from Lizard. Huge bomb from Lizard. Can he get the air shot? Oh my god, he was so close.
He was so close.
I was going to say Tal goes down. I thought that was the medic, but I forgot that Tokos and Tal swapped. But yeah, I think Tokos is going to get out alive with about a 30% ad. Rascals have about a 10% cap advantage, as we see Bisha and the rest of Monster Energy trying to tap at it away. I feel like they're not going to get much. Bonk is doing a really good job of shutting down the entirety of the point here.
He's definitely doing his best. I think the main thing here is I think Monster Energy Sniper is picking up players left, right, and so if he's able to hit another shot, well, I say that. Just as I say that, we see quite a few players go down on Monster Energy. Just a lot of spam damage coming in. They're still trying to edge that point.
I mean, just really good job. And Raylan picks up JP at the end of that, and yeah, this is looking pretty dire for Monster Energy. They're going to have to walk into a full Uber ad. And he tries to go for the dream pick onto Tokos, but they're going to use the Uber on the point, and I think that's going to be it. Save a miracle. Someone needs to touch onto the point. I don't think anyone's going to get there in time. They're all just like sitting behind. Oh, but they get the Uber in time. That's going to be a huge god save. I thought they were going to get Shy in the end of that Uber, but evidently not. Shy staying alive. Centaur nearly got like a nice path onto Shy, but JP having the back of his medic, and that's going to be Uber's 10% ad, 15% ad. I'm sorry about original statement. 10% ad inside of Shy. Alright, we can do it. But yeah,
we know she's been building like crazy though, and once JP's back up, I think they have a good chance of holding this for the full minute that they need. That said, they're letting Taurus cap it quite a bit already. It's already half capped. They're running out of time here to stop this one. They pick up Bird though. That might slow it down just a little. Typo's still up on that rock there doing quite a bit of damage. There's players dying left, right, and center. It's 4-on-4 now, 3-on-4 now, just platinum. And that's that. The first round going the way of the rasgals.
Yeah, I think it was just the pressure from Flo and the combo spam from Bonk with like too strong in the end. It was like even with about 50 seconds all, but yeah, Flo just decided to toggle on, and that was it. In spite of the amazing building efforts from Shy, I do not understand how she built like so quickly. I feel like she just switched on and healing the right targets, but yeah, as you say that, Lizard, first frag of the mid onto Tokos, and surely his team going to be able to sweep in off the back of that. Taurus just decides to walk in through connector, dance around with the scout class, and it is onto Shy, but no. 2 hit scans in the form of Bisha and JP just completely shut down that push.
I think he might have gotten a bit excited because Shy did take quite a bit of damage right near the start of that mid, or point, I guess. So she had to back up and get a pack, but obviously she managed to grab that one before he could get in to do some damage. So yeah, full ad more or less on the side of Shy there. They actually use that one straight on in, sending their demo through, catching him by the skin of his teeth there as he almost died really forward. Didn't really collect many frags with that one. JP picking up Tal though, so that might slow things down just a little.
Really high bomb in from Raylan. Oh, but Lizard shuts it down. He nearly got a nice pick onto JP, which would have opened things up a lot for him. But the rest of the Rascals are pushing really far into the point. Spurkle gets the 2 HP frag onto Lizard in the connector. And Rascals are going to be sitting here with about a 40% ad. They don't have that many players up though. They're only just getting players now, but yeah, I'm not really sure if Monster Energy know that they're trying to push in the face of a disad, and that's going to be it. Full Uber comes in, bonk, flying in the sky, but Shy's in a really good position and just backs out. So yeah, that's going to be a leapfrog of about 80%.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say it's not the most fantastic Uber I've ever seen. They haven't really picked up much, but sort of read my mind on that one. They've got their Uber now on the side of the Monster Energy team, and I wonder if they're going to use it aggressively or if they're just going to wait it out. They need to be kind of fearful though, because they're losing players to these pick classes.
Yeah, oh, and there goes another one. Reggie gets taken down, and the full power of the Sixers Uber comes out. Bisha in time, try to go forward. Bisha gets completely crushed by the bird air blast, and Taras cleans up the frag there. Toko's on 11 HP in the house, staying alive by the skin of his teeth. And that's going to be pretty much a full team wipe for the side of Monster Energy. Everyone getting taken down except for Tizon, and yeah, it's going to be 65 ad for the side of Tokos.
Yeah, man. rasgals actually played that one like crazy well. They totally were just nonplussed by that whole Uber, really. I mean, it helped that they picked up so many players in the pre-Uber stage. Man, they just like dealt with that one and kept on. They even sort of like half tried to forward hold there, which would have been pretty bold. But in any case, they picked up Typo, they picked up Lizard Wizard, they picked up time and all that just for Turks. I think they're in a happy situation. So it'd probably be more time on the point for the rasgals. They did end up getting forced there, I think.
Yeah, I think they decided to use the Uber to go forward, but Shy is going to be netted about 30% ad, so they should be able to just walk in off the back of that. I feel like if they have to use, that's not going to be great for them. Time's definitely in the side of Rascals there. They've got about like 20 second ad on the clock. Not really many frags coming out here. Let's see if Andy Roo's going to be able to get the... Andy Roo gets the frag onto Flow, even though Bird spotted him. A lot of players falling to the side of Rascals. A bit of a bomb in from Raylan here. Flank battles by Lizard and Sparkle. And so many people going down. Toko's falling to Time Stickies. Yeah, that's going to be the Uber coming out. And that is a half-team wipe for the side of Monster Energy. Oh, sorry, not Monster Energy, Rascals.
That was probably one of the best Ubers I think we've seen so far. He picked up like, what, 2-3 players right in the middle of the Uber, which is absolutely gorgeous. You know, that's definitely enough to... And now they've recapped that. So they'll be bringing that one back down to even. We have seen a bit of a trade, Andy Roo and Bird going down. So it's just going to be quite even so far.
Flank rush from the side of Rascals. They try to send Spurple and Raylan behind, and it works. Raylan gets a pick onto Lizard, and off the back of that, his team's going to get so much cap time. Wow.
I was straight up looking at the wrong end of the point there, man. So I did not even see that one. What a fantastic play. They managed to recap that before it even equalized.
Yeah, I mean, that was just like, I didn't even believe it. Like, it was literally just Spurple and Raylan walking in. Lizard, he had the 1 second opportunity to shut it down, but he missed it. Speaking of Lizard, he bombs in, tries to get a bit of a distraction, get anything going for the side of his team, but so many falling for the side of Monster Energy before this Uber trade comes out. This is not looking good for them because they're going to be in the post-Uber fight with less health, less players, and they still don't even have the cap.
Yeah, I mean, 20 seconds left on the clock for the rasgals. You're definitely in dire straits. They need to cap it. They finally managed that one. 18 seconds left on the clock to a minute for them. So, I mean, they're playing with fire here. They're going to have to hold this pretty aggressively, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, the Ubers are about dead even, but they haven't been great at holding Uber like situations.
Oh, dude, they do it again.
I mean, in spite of that, yeah, that flank rush, I think they thought like it just worked the first time. I don't think it went that great for them the second time. Player advantage in the side of Monster Energy as the time is ticking down. It's getting dangerously close to even now.
It is getting very dangerously close to even. It's kind of going to be make or break off this next fight. I think this pick class is going to be really important. Andy Roo picking up Flow, which is a very good pick there, as the Ubers get traded on the point. Centaur did go for a stab, but I think he might have stuffed it a little bit. And it's looking absolutely gorgeous for Monster Energy here. They picked up quite a few players, bit of spawn coming out. There's still players on the point fighting, though, but they are going down quite rapidly. The overtime is on, and that is that. So we even up with 1-1.
Really good play by Lizard at the end. He just like waddled out from connector and you know, just like ate so much of the attention of rasgals, and that was off the back of Andy already distracting them. I feel like those two, like that combination of plays was so good. Like they just knew they were going to die. Sorry, Andy knew he was going to die, but he bought so much time. His team caps off the back of about 1-all into the third mid of product.
And a fantastic start from Monster Energy. They pick up Centaur as he came around behind and pick up Topaz with their own spy. They've kept Shy alive so far despite all the players throwing themselves directly into the team. And it looks like they're going to be able to cap this one up with really nothing to worry about and about 60 ad.
Flo just went for the cheeky god shot. He's just like one-man army peeked from China. He thought he could get something, but he got spammed by literally every class that had a gun. Like, Shy even took out her crossbow to try spam a bow at China. But yeah, it's going to be a huge ad for the side of Shy. If we've seen anything from the past, the Pro are going to be really aggressive in using the Uber. But as we say that, so much aggression from the side of Monster Energy. Sorry, not Monster, Rascals. Like, they just walked in, like, onto the point, knowing that they were going to 70 disad, forced the Uber, and now the Ubers have leapfrogged.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually kind of intelligent the way they're doing it. They're sort of treating it the same way you would in sixes with a 5-man sack. But they're throwing 7, which is a lot to deal with, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the clock is ticking down for the side of Monster Energy. Andy Rue gets a pick onto Tal. Probably going to see the Ubers coming out very soon. And as we say that, as I said the word Uber, I just saw Bonk flying in. There was no way they were going to leave the defense of Shy to the solemn vow. Like, it was just Centaur and Davey and Tara, sorry. They were just like walking into Shy, and Shy was just left as a one lady army with a solemn vow. But Bisha finally came back to save his medic.
She picked one up either way. She's strong and independent and all that. It was absolutely fantastic, and now they have this. They have lost their sniper and their spy, though.
Yeah, Uber comes out. Scout solo, the Sixers dream. I don't know how much it's going to get. Shy's going to back off now. I don't know where. I think Bisha decided to back up. But yeah, there's going to be a huge leapfrog from the side of Tokoz. And that was all off the back of good positioning from Flo. Like, he was just standing on China and knew that he'd force Shy, just like by his own presence. Jesus Christ, Lizard getting destroyed by midi by Bonk, and that's going to be Rascals picking up the cap here. They're on about a 1-minute deficit, and they've got a 70% ad.
Yeah, I mean, they picked up so many players off the back of that catfish Uber out of Fisherminty, sort of using straight in and not really collecting a lot. But I think that's just one of those things. I mean, they weren't really in a full position to be able to get in there and do what they were wanting to do. So we'll just have to see how they play this one. Centaur going for a stab and misses it by Miller. Flo picking up T-Son. A nice big pick, I'd say. He also picks up Fisherminty, which is pretty big as well. 2 of those is pretty good, but they do pick up Flo, which is going to give them a lot of room to poke their heads out here and make things happen. So they're getting in there. They get that Uber in, actually. It's going to be a bit of a trade on the point. It's looking a bit better for the Rascals here, but T-Son's there to air blast them off after the respawn. We do see a nice big bomb out of Lizard as well, but he ends up getting clapped on the point. And it's just going to be a bit more of a scrappy fight here, but it does actually look like it's favouring the Monster Energy people. Or what is it, just Monster Energy?
Yeah,
I keep seeing the Z,
Monster Energy.
There's another word. I don't know what. Energy doesn't even start with an A. Either way, it looks like it was favouring them for a moment there, and now it's back to fairly equal.
Centaur with, like, I swear Centaur touched the degreaser of T-Zon, but didn't get caught somehow. I was trying to pull up his best Akuma impersonation on Cliff. Time in favour of just everything in the favour of Monster Energy over here. Flo gets a few picks, so they're at like 2 down now, and yeah, Rascals are starting to walk in really aggressively onto the point now.
Yeah, and they actually get the force out as well, and in the midst of that, time gets dropped, just catches a couple pipes at a very inopportune moment. So it actually looks like in this case, I'd say the Rascals definitely have an advantage here. They've got the spawns as well coming in shortly. They're demo man on this, so that should give them enough to be able to sort of hold this for a while, but Andy Rue is still in the back end.
Yeah, I mean, they've got about a 40-second time deficit to overcome, along with a full Uber. They tried to go in for a sack wave, but I don't know if they got anything onto Tokos. They got him down to 90 health, and yeah, that's going to be a complete crushing wipe from the side of Rascals. I think they played that quite well. I think they knew that they were going to get sacked into, so yeah. And speaking of Shy only just, it says in the intercom here, 12.6 seconds spent before she started healing, so that's going to be disastrous. I'm not sure if she's going to get Uber in time at this rate. And Sen, oh my god. I mean, I know we talk about face stabs, but that was a time where Centaur had the knife raised and the stab didn't work, so he's really living off a miracle there as we see Monster Energy trying to cap onto the point, but they're getting shut down by Flow, getting shut down by everyone, and the times are going to even out now. The Ubers are still an ad for the side of Rascals, and yeah, this is not looking good for Monster Energy. I think someone... Oh, sorry, that's just me miscounting, but yeah. 15 seconds now, and they need to get the Ubers out of the equation before they can even like get onto the point here.
It's definitely coming to a head, and with Flow just absolutely mincing people, that's it's going to be quite difficult for them. They picked up quite a few frags here, though, and they're able to push forward. They do lose Bishaminti on the point, which is going to reduce their capping prowess, I suppose, as they push forward with what remains of their Uber here. They do pick up Tokos and Bird. Centaur in the back end there, causing a bit of havoc, but it doesn't look like it's going to be just enough yet. Typo is stuck really forward eating his sandwich, though. He actually survives that one. So it's just Flo and Raylan so far. They do collect quite a few more spawns now, but they've got 20 seconds total to cap this one back with the overtime.
Yeah, there was really good chaos from the side of Monster Energy. They just caused so many distractions, caused so many aversions, and they've got about 10-second ad. Rascals are having to walk onto the point. No Ubers into the equation. Huge flank plays here from the side of Raylan and Davey, but it gets completely destroyed by the counter flank of Monster Energy. I thought that was gonna go insane. Like Raylan and Tokos Tal, sorry, had such a good opportunity to just crush the players of Monster Energy from Concrete, but the counter flank push just shut that down.
I mean, it was one of the most thorough destructions of a push I think I've ever seen, honestly. As we come into this 2-1 to the side of the Monster Energy fellas. They have picked up Centaur nice and early as well. Lizard goes for a sack, does end up going down. Tokos does get picked up in the meantime, though. Shy still alive until just then, as Raylan came in and just absolutely minced her, turned her into a spaghetti bolognese, I believe. But
yeah,
just trying to think of something you do with mince.
I was gonna say that mid went really well off the back of a lizard bomb. He did the Tempest Pogo off the rock and drew enough eyes for Andy to come in with the stab on the Tokos. So really good job by him. Really good job by Raylan to alleviate the frag. Andy in a really good position. Not going to be able to get anything. I think he nearly got a pick onto Bong, but yeah. First cap on the side of Monster Energy, but Rascals look like they're going to be comfortably holding it now on though.
Yeah, I mean, they've equalised the time just now. And, I mean, if Flo keeps doing what he's doing... he just got sniped by Jay. I was going to say, if Flo keeps doing what he's doing, it's going to be very difficult to push. But with him down now, or them down, sorry, in any case, they're pushing straight on forward. And it's not looking super good. The Uber does get used on the point. But they haven't really collected quite a lot with it just yet. And they're going to have to back up pretty much immediately. Bird actually on that point, though, to beat up the counter Uber with the air blast there. Does end up going down for it, but reduces the damage that's done to her team. Flo picking up Lizard Wizard as well. This guy is just... he's headshotting people more often than I knew was possible.
Yeah, I'd say the pick classes are going quite well. Andy, Sen, Flo and JP. I feel like everyone's performing on these two teams. It's not really any kind of anchorage, which is good to see. Spurkle just walks in and gets 3 shots onto Bisha, waiting for it. Okay, whatever. The flank rush works. I feel like that's just been the theme of the Rascals so far. As yeah, we see Rascals finally retaking the point. They've got about a 15-second ad. They don't have a real ad though. I mean, they're pretty much about even Ubers here, but they're really aggressive. Davey walked right into the combo players and he finally gets out, but he got a lot of pressure onto the combo of Monster Energy there.
this flank push stuff is absolutely blowing my mind. The Uber gets used on the point by Monster Energy. They do end up getting air blasted quite a bit, but then the counter Uber comes out and the same thing happens. More pyro play there to just absolutely ruin those. Lizard did go in for a post-Uber bomb and did go down for his efforts. Andy Roo, though, finally able to pick up Tokos there on the tail end of that Uber. So it is going to look pretty juicy for Shy and her team here.
Yeah, Flow on the raise spot, on the little like ledge above Cliff, gets a pick onto JP. It's going to be really beneficial for his team, given that they're walking into about a 60% disad, but so much aggression in spite of the disad. They've got Raylan in the back lines causing a bit of a havoc. Bonk goes down, Spell goes down, so many go down, but they get the cap at least. I feel like they're not going to be able to sustain this for much longer. Poor Raylan waiting in the middle for an arrow from a medic that probably won't be able to get him, but yeah, 50% ad for the side of our Monster Energy now. Oh, there he is said here. I said arrow, not rocket. Feel bad for him.
He's a funny little bloke, but yeah, I mean, look, this overrad is looking pretty sweet for Shy, but I don't think they're really in a great position to use it. So I think it'll probably even up here unless they get some sort of pick, and then they might push in pretty quickly. They have picked up Bird though, and they're looking a little bit more aggressive just off that. Centaur coming in for the stab.
Oh, and that's it.
Shot. A nice big shot to slow that one down as the Uber comes in from the rest of their team. Rasgals just pushing that one forward. Pushed a couple players off the point, but they did actually lose two in the midst of that Uber, so it's not super great for them.
Oh, but they tried to do it for like a post Uber fight, like push. They jumped in all their players, their explosives and their flank. They didn't get much. It was really good coalesce, really good to see them coalesce like on the flank, and they do get a few combo picks. They get a pick onto Bonk. Rascals finally cap it out with about a 10-second disad, but yeah, I think JP surfs out on 9 HP, but yeah, really good coalition there from the side of Monster Energy on their flank.
Yeah, they really did quite a good job of destroying a few players. But look, the cap's going straight back to Monster Energy here, and they'll just keep running that time. They've been playing this defensive game quite well, I think, in this particular round. I think some of their issues that they might have had with previous rounds where things were just sort of getting past are sort of not happening anymore. Well,
yeah, as we say that, the knife in the back, not ideal. The rest of Monster Energy, Rascals walk in off the back of their ad. They're probably going to cap it out now. Uber's going to be about like even. Well, they say that I was really anticipating for Shy to start healing. So yeah, like off the back of Shy not healing very much, it's going to be about a 20% ad for Tokos. I'm not sure if the Ubers are going to come into the. Speaking of unlucky spies, it was so bad for Andy Roo. Like he had like a look right on the back of Bird, and the knife just didn't raise. So, you know, maybe the luck going all in the favor of Centaur. But yeah, things are going really in the way of Rascals here. A bit of a flank succession there from the side of Monster Energy, but it gets shut down. They've still got the point. 12 seconds to go. They're about to get their Uber. This is not looking good for Monster Energy.
Man, this Flow guy is unreal. He's popping heads as they try to push on in. 3 seconds left on the clock. It's counted in. It's now overtime for the Rascals as they use their Uber onto the point, pushing players off. That overtime is going to be absolutely rough for Monster Energy here. They have to keep people on the point. Lizard Wizard's there. He does go down. Bishaminti and Shy are here, though. Bishaminti gets stabbed, though, and that is going to be that. Evening it out at 2-2, and I got to tell you, mate, I think we're going to be here for the full 3 maps, looking at the way this is going.
I'd actually like to express a bit of a different opinion. I feel like it's probably just going to end at Proside. If Rascals take this map, I feel like they probably are going to take Proside. Flow is really popping off, and the like sightlines on Proside are just godly. So that's my bold prediction. Getting into the fifth mid of this map. So many frags falling on the side of in the favor of Rascals here. Flow gets he got like 2 consecutive periods of just sightlines onto Shy, but didn't decide to take the shot. Don't know what happened there, but that's going to be Shy and Tokos both staying alive, playing really conservatively. Yeah, I feel like neither team wants to make a mistake here in the fifth round of this map.
Yeah, I mean, look, Flow may not have popped Shy's head off but he certainly did collect 4 other people at the start of that round. So that's he's doing pretty well. He's pretty fresh. But yeah, we are going to see this one equalise out a little bit. We do have rasgals running time down on the point there. You see a nice big bomb out of Lizard Wizard, actually getting the force out of Turquoise. And that's going to be quite bad for the rasgals here, as Shy can now wander in with more or less that. Andy picking up Flo and Raylan as well, which is definitely going to give them what they need to get in. They have used their Uber. They've picked up a couple of players. They picked up the Demo and the Pyro. That's going to be enough to call that Uber a success.
And JP gets Turquoise.
Yeah, that's even better. They picked up the med as well. I mean, I know it's not in the Uber, but I mean, you call that a successful push, right?
I thought that wasn't going really in their favour on the side of Monster Energy, because Bonk did a really good job of giving his life to delay. Like he forced like Time and Bisha to kind of shoot him. Speaking of Bonk, goes down to Andy there, but yeah, really good distraction play. Unfortunate for Turquoise, who's just in the wrong sideline at the wrong time. 30% ad for the side of Shy. Flo gets picked onto Centaur, speak of the devil, and yeah, the rest of rasgals just look to be pressuring the cap here. Bird and like Davey trying to stand on the corner of the point.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's looking pretty juicy for rasgals here. Flo picked up like 3-4 players, I think, 3 with headshots there in rather quick order, which just gave them enough to be able to sort of push in without having to really commit to a fight. So it's going to be a bit of a reset with the time running down for rasgals here. They have got a little bit of an advantage in terms of time. It's really only about 10 seconds, though. So I think it'll just be waiting it out.
Yeah, I mean, not really much. Oh, but the Uber gets used from the side of Shy.
That was a really odd Uber, I'm not going to lie. That said, JP did pick up the medic Tokos there as well, so that is actually, it's going to mean that, I mean, whatever happened with that Uber there is going to not be as bad. JP also picking up Flow, so they're in a bit more ability here to poke their heads in and try to get some spam damage off while the med's down.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 30% ad for Shy. They've got like a 1 minute time deficit to alleviate. I feel like rasgals like alleviated something similar on the previous round, so yeah, like no guarantees on like the time being used like to its full advantage there. Taurus gets completely destroyed, like just got popped up and you know, like denied. Andy Rue gets a pick onto Tal, and yeah, frag's about even. One player frag in the side of favouring the side of rasgals, but not much else. Rasgals walking onto the point now, and the Uber's gonna get used out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fine defensive Uber. I think they just wanted to push them away from the point, stop them from getting any time back here, as they have actually brought it down enough to be content with the time. I think there are a couple seconds in advantage here. That's really not enough, though, when they're staring down the barrel of full disad as Tokos sort of moves forward from that rock area. They didn't even have to use the Uber. They're able to just sort of edge that one off and cap. So Tokos still holding on to the Uber there, 40% on Shy. I don't know, do you reckon they're going to use it, or are they going to wait it out, or...?
I feel like they have to. If they don't use it, they're going to be kicking themselves. I feel like they need to be proactive with their Ubers. Bonk and Davey are more than capable of just like doing it like a kind of seeking out Uber, but I think they are just going to let it dwindle. Ubers are like getting quite even now with Shy, already on 76. Beach is trying to pressure the point, but Flow's going to shut down any form of pressure that could have come out from the side of Time. JP gets a return pick onto Bonk, but yeah, finally the point's getting pressured by, I think, Bisha that is just standing on the edge of it. Ubers are going to be about even, and yeah, we're finally going to see the trade out the side of Monster Energy here, and rasgals.
Yeah, I mean, I think rasgals might have held onto that Uber a little bit too long. They did use there to try and make something happen, but it didn't really work for them with the counter Uber on Shy. She held it for a while, so she was sort of just able to walk forward with many invulnerable players. They pick up Centaur, who did go for a stab there as well. They picked up quite a few other players. The spawns do favour rasgals here, but I mean, losing that many players, you're not really able to do anything for quite some time. So the time's going to keep on running down on the side of Monster Energy, so it'll probably equalise 27 seconds on each shortly. So it's down to sort of the wire here.
Yeah, I mean, Time like had a good opportunity to walk forward. That's it. I feel like, yeah, that's it. It's going to be Rascals coming in, unless Andy or someone else can get a pick onto Tokos, but yeah, that's just absolutely brutal. I feel like Centaur has been popping off, getting really, really pivotal picks at just the best times, takes out Shy. I feel like they're going to have one last, like, hurrah push in the side of Monster Energy here, but they literally can't like have anything bad go their way. JP gets picked onto Flow, so that's a good start. JP gets picked himself. They're going to trade Centaur for that on the side of Rascals, but Bonk, really good trap onto Bisha. But yeah, they've got 10 seconds here. They need to be going on to the point. Lizard trying to draw some eyes, but he gets completely shut down. Things are not looking good for the side of Monster Energy here.
Yeah, dude, Bonk was doing so much damage there. Slowing things down. The fight's still happening on the point, though. Shakey managing to keep that point alive for a mere moment. That said, she's pretty much there on her own. Lizard comes in for a jump, does end up getting minced by Tackle, and that is all she wrote for the first map. Rasgals taking that one with literally 1 second left on the clock.
It's going to be the second map, Proside. Rascals coming into it with the lead, 1-0.
Yeah, Rasgals definitely, this is their sort of do or die moment. They're going to be trying for this. So we'll see the teams facing off so far just across the point. A little bit of action happening in the pool room, although there's no pool on the pro version. So the pool room sort of taking a bit of a battle there, but nothing crazy going on. One of the first players to go down is actually Bonk, though. And with the spawns coming back on the side of Monster Energy here, they're kind of in a decent spot to be able to push this one back. They do lose Andy Roo in the meantime, though. But Time pushing forward with that massive Demo Man damage. He's pushed them straight off the point, but the pool room's pretty much entirely controlled by Rascals here as they send Raylan in there trying to collect something. Flow picks up JP as well. I nearly said Maz, you hear? And we do see a bit of an uber force on the side of Monster Energy as they get that cap really close. But the counter push is coming in. It looked like maybe it was a trade. I think I'm blind, but either way, we actually see Rascals pushing him straight back off the point, doing quite a bit of damage. And I think the first fight is kind of over for one.
Yeah, Rascals did a really good job of like holding the pool room. They just like did not give it up. They're getting so many frags in that little room, but as you see Andy, is he gonna get a he was like so close to getting to pick onto Flo, but Bonk just said no, get out. Gets to pick onto Andy, and the cap hasn't even fallen. Neither team has capped the point yet.
It's kind of intense what's going on here. That pool room is still pretty much entirely under the control of the Rascals, so they're able to sort of slow down the push onto the point at any time with that. I mean, it's not really high ground, but you know what I mean. It still has a big cap.
I feel like we definitely had an Uber fight, so we've had at least one Uber fight and no caps. I mean, Bonk's finally standing on it, but I feel like Bisha and Time are going to have something to say about that. Milking it really hard. Finally Shy uses, so they use first. They're going to be walking to a much much better Uber from the side of Rascals as Post Uber's coming in about now, and Bonk still in a dominant position on the point. A lot more spam, a lot more cap time for the side of Rascals here.
But you say that Monster Energy has now picked up quite a few players here, and as much as Rascals still has that pool room area and Flow is still popping heads, it's actually looking fairly decent for Monster Energy here as they push this one forward. They do have a bit of ad as well, right around about 50% with the players that they picked up. And I think finally one team is going to cap the point. Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a round of applause?
Finally, after all that, Monster Energy cap it out. Huge bomb from Lizard. Is he going to be able to... He gets to pick onto Tokos. That is absolutely unreal. Huge. Off the back of that insane, like, 2-minute no cap period, Lizard gets a pick onto Tokos there. Flo gets a pick onto JP. SBS not going in JP's favor tonight, but at least they have the point cap. They've got about 30 second ad, and yeah, I think Monster Energy have said enough is enough. They want to take the pool room, but as I say that, they don't. They just decide to walk in onto the point. Time, all guns blazing. Not going to be able to get much apart from an energy frag. I think they're going to be able to keep the point, but yeah, that's going to be a leapfrog back into the hands of Tokos.
I think they might have been a little bit excited because they saw Toquo's kind of forward on the point. So they went for that Uber, but just weren't able to catch him. Kind of really smart to just bail out of that one, I think, the moment he saw them on that upper area. But yeah, I mean, he's got full ad now. Flo's got a pretty nasty angle as well across the point there. Andy Roo going for the stab though, picks it up as Centaur picks up Reggie at the same time. So it's looking a little bit better for... oh, it's Kritz! Oh my god!
But Andy gets the pick onto Bonk to shut down any sort of a Kritz play there. But yeah, really interesting wildcard play at the side of Rascals to elect for Kritz. I feel like everything was going fine for them on Uber, if I'm being honest.
I mean, I think they might have just been hoping for that sort of surprise play of Kritzing onto the point, collecting quite a few players, but things just didn't turn out for them. See some frags happening in the middle.
Sorry, I just saw like this condensed 1 minute duel between Flo and Lizard. Flo completely outbraining Lizard there, gets away with his life, just got the jukes on him in the little corner in the back of Lakeside, but yeah. Off the back of that, Ubers are about even. A lot of pressure from the side of Rascals. They've got so many players onto the point here. Bonk goes down, and I feel like that's going to stop the push, as they say that, Taurus is just on the point capping with Bird, and they cap it out even though they've lost their demo. Okay, who knows?
Yeah, Flo in a bit of trouble here. Andy Roo right on him. Oh, misses the stab by mere millimeters as Flo spins around. So, yeah, it's just going to be a nice big even Uber situation. It does look a little bit better for Monster Energy here. They have kind of got that pull room area. And they get the drop out of Tokos. They also pick up Bird as well. That is a gorgeous Uber right there. Cleaning up that med. And he was still running crits, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see him swap off.
Well, either way, Shy on about a 20% ad. Nothing really much else happening. I think it's the constant theme of this map. They just send 3 people inside of Rascals into pool room. They send a heavy, Engie, and Soldier, and they just reclaim it. Reg is trying his best to just secure it with a one-man army with a mini, but yeah, it's not going to do much. Rascal's going to cap it out now. They've secured the pool room. They're going to back out now, but yeah, really good play there to just take like 2 kind of angles of attack.
Yeah, I mean, I guess these guys have been reading some textbooks, they're getting the pins and maneuvers. But
It just came out from Bonk. I mean, that's what I'm seeing here with the oh, maybe it was the loose cannon,
I think it was the loose cannon
crit,
mini crit thing, yeah. Oh my lord. The loose cannon is actually bloody dangerous. But in the meantime, we have actually seen it's kind of swapped places now. We actually see Monster Energy taking much more control of that pool room area. And Typo, the only one in there, though. The Uber does get used on the point by rasgals. They push it forward. They collect Andy Roo and Shy, which is absolutely gold for them. Lizard Wizard gets suspended by the heavy, just held up in there. I'm sure he wanted to be there. It's, being able to fly must be brilliant. But it is actually looking much better for Rascal. JP is doing what he can to pick up a couple of players on the back end of
the They're all so hurt, every single Rascals player, but they just had the better fragging classes in the end, and that's what let them kind of keep the point. Time's in their favour, ads in their favour. I feel like they just need to kind of sit back, play this passively. As I say that, they just walk them at the point to continue to spam, but yeah, no fear for Tokos at all, and they're just getting they're getting picked. Bonk gets picked down himself, Sen gets picked, and that's going to be a cap with about a 40-second advantage for Rascals.
Yeah, but if they get a decent Uber off here, as they don't quite use just yet. I think they're a little bit nervous right now to get in there. But if they get a decent Uber off here, 6 seconds left on the point, they can definitely make it happen. They have Bonk with them now. They're looking quite aggressive up onto that forward area there. They look to be ready to get in there, but the Ubers have equal. It does look like we see a slightly earlier Uber out of Shy there onto the point in an attempt to defend. 20 seconds left on the clock for Monster Energy. The time is counting down. They have lost a few players on the side of Rascals, but they picked up a few more of their own. own, so it's actually looking a little bit better for them now. They're getting that time on the point. They're edging it off. They haven't quite got it just yet.
They
Times have
haven't capped,
equalised.
I don't
6
believe
seconds
this.
on the clock on
It's like
either
so
side.
close to being capped, and Rascals, like, it's still in the favour of Monster Energy here. They finally get the cap, and it's 4 seconds. They've got so many more fragging class, and they just need to walk onto the point. They're going to have to walk into a mini and flow. This is not looking good for them. They get a few frags. Bonk's doing a really good job of locking off the point. I feel like that's going to be it. Like, Bonk, flow, just so many things. Yeah, and like, yeah.
Dude, you say that? They just cleaned up pretty much everyone on the side of Monster Energy. Gave no option to push forward in an attempt to keep that overtime there going. And there you go, first round to rasgals.
I think that's just the perfect pressure cooker at the end. You know, like they had the mini from Sparkle, they had Flow just with the God angle, they had Bonk with the spam. It was just not looking good for them. Yeah, it's going to be the first round. Such a lengthy round in the favour of Rascals.
Yeah, but look, coming into this, I was going to say, I wonder if it's going to take forever again, but I think it might not, as Monster Energy have picked up 4 players in very quick succession right at the start. And they're just able to cap this one pretty much uncontested. So we'll have to see what Rascals can do with this one.
Yeah, I mean, they're electing not to like stay inside. Like I think they're finally going to take it. But yeah, that's normally the first step that Rascals have been following. They just take the pool room with their heavy and their like soldier. Whoever gets used out from the side of both teams, it's going to be about even. And Centaur gets a pick onto Shy, and that's going to stump quite a bit of the efforts from Monster Energy here. Time goes in for a huge bomb. There's only 25 HP. I don't know how much it's going to get. They get a lot of cricks. I think Toko's, they finally get him beat with a nice cleanup frag. But yeah, really good like awareness from Monster Energy to know that like at the tail end of that fight they just had to all kind of sack in for Toko. Bonk thought he could try like stinge Andy Roo by launching him into the sky with a loose cannon and hiding in the corner, but he gets reverse stinged. Typho shot him from like halfway across the map onto the point.
I mean, Centaur's having a bit of a game here, man. He's been getting some really gnarly frags. And he's in that back end already again. I'll have to see if he's able to make something happen as the fight happens on the point while they're a little bit distracted. Turris taking quite a bit of damage, having to back out. So is Bonk actually dying to fall damage after the... It's quite unfortunate for Rascals here. We do see Centaur, he's come forward quite a bit. He's on the point now, just backing back off again. They're fighting that pool area there as JP takes out Tal in the pool room area there, slowing down that push. Centaur's still hanging around in the back end there, looking for something, but Flo has picked up quite a few players. That is a bird going down as well, and the massive drop. Lizard being able to get in there and just delete Tokos. That is absolutely insane, and that one's definitely going to cause some problems for Rascals here as they lose quite a few players in the tail end of dropping their meta. That is just unreal, man.
Rascals still stuck under 3 minutes of the clock. Maybe they are just going to give this up and just say next round's going to be ours, but they're going to have to be walking into a full Uber disad, 70% ad in the favour of Monster Energy, and they just use it in. Yeah, they flood through the pool room. Turquoise is in a really good position. He's all the way back out, so that was a good play. I was going to say, Centaur had such a good opportunity there, like 3 combo members with their back turned, but unfortunately his luck ran out this time. 10 seconds in the side, counting down to 0 seconds in the side of Monster Energy here. Centaur on a tear, he gets 2, but it's not enough. It is not enough to alleviate the no caps that his team has gotten the entire round. He got to pick onto JP, and then with the speed buff of the big earner, he got to pick onto Shy, but it just wasn't enough in the end.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's been having a bit of a game, but just not quite enough to really turn him around. We're coming into this one, the third, I guess, mid-fight of this map so far. Centaur's in behind, he's right onto Shy, collects her very, very early. Quite a few players going down, actually. Centaur picked up a couple of so it's actually looking a bit better for the rasgals here. They've kept Tokos alive, but look, Lizard's doing everything he can to make that no longer be the case. Lizard does go down. Tokos so low, having to back out to try to get a little bit of health. Manages to get some of it, but Andy-Roo is still behind. He's a bit too low to make anything happen. So it looks like Tokos is going to get away with that one, and they now have that nice big Uber ad as the fight begins anew.
I feel like we are going to see a really lengthy mid again. It's just been the theme of Lakeside. Yeah, like Tokos with a 50% ad here, but he's just going to back out, like just walking out of the kind of like lower area with Bonk, and they're just going to let Monster Energy cap it. Yeah,
I mean, look, I think they lost a few too many players to actually make anything happen.
Oh my god, that is just disgusting. That's not fair. Delete the scout class. He had the Lizard at the Tempest Bomb. He had the perfect angle, but you know, Taurus just decided to become Cookie, turn on the toggle on, and that was it. That was the end of that sack play. It was such a good opportunity, but the raw mechanics of the scout not falling in the favour of Lizard. Uber's getting traded out, bit of a better trade for the side of rasgals, just barely. Post-Uber fight in the pool room for once, maybe going to favour the you know, the Monster Energy side, and we see Centaur in a spy battle with Andy-Roo. God, it was Andy versus okay, it was Centaur trying to get pick onto Shy, and Andy with the revolver trying to revolver down Centaur. And eventually Sen got the pick onto Shy, so that's going to be about a 30%, 40% ad for the side of Tokos, but first they're going to have to cap it out.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're starting to run the time down. They're obviously having a better game than the last round there already, with 2 minutes 50 left on the clock for themselves. But they are still looking down the barrel of almost a full minute disadvantage in terms of that. They have got quite a bit of advantage here, so they might be able to stalemate that off a little bit, especially as they collect a couple players. Pardon me, using those pick classes nice and early. T-Sun showing why he was regarded as the best for a while there, just absolutely destroying Centaur. As the picks come through and the Uber comes through on the side of rasgals, they get quite a bit of, quite a few frags there actually, and quite a bit of ground, but they are backing up now. And Shy has survived all the way back at spawn.
Yeah, I was kind of a bit worried for Shy there, because normally, like, when you're backing out in the face of an Uber, that's the perfect opportunity for a spy to pick you up, but Sen not capitalizing that time, maybe he's just feeling generous. But yeah, that's going to be, the clock's literally like ticking down to even time, 157 apiece. Uber's ad in the side of Shy, and yeah, let's see what they're going to do with this Uber. It's probably going to be an aggressive use out, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine they want to get a bit aggressive, but Centaur's in the back end slowing them down a little bit. The Uber does come through, but it's already 85% on Tokos. They've backed up quite enough to be able to kite that one out, and they look like they want to use back onto the point, keep the time counting down for themselves. They've gotten quite a bit of aggression there without having to use the Uber so far. They're probably going to want to use it before they drop some players shortly. They've lost Bird already. They've lost Flo as well. A couple of pick players going down. They finally use the Uber after the point gets capped. They get in there, trying to do everything they can, waiting for their soldier to come in as well. Raylan picking up JP on the backside of that. Not a lot going on the point. We do see Andy-Roo with the assist from Beat. Taking out Bonkada, but that's going to be sort of the tail end of this fight. It looks really bad for rasgals. They've lost quite a few players. Flo's doing okay. Flo and Raylan and Centaur are doing everything and Bird as well are doing everything they can to turn it back around for their team's fate. But the times are equalising yet again at minute 17.
Yeah, Toko's getting taken down at the tail end of that fight is not ideal. It's going to buy at least 40 seconds, so I'd hope, for the side of Monster Energy. Yeah, really good flank presence again from the side of rasgals. They're taking the pool room and they're just getting every single pick they can in there, forcing so many players of the side of like Monster Energy to just come and contest them. They're finally going to use their huge ad. I don't know how much ground they're going to get. Bisha being really aggressive, but he's not going to be able to get much without the help of Time. A bit disconnected at the time. I really hate to see it. Time disconnected the entire Uber, comes back in, he gets to see the Uber fade and gets headshot by Flo. So, you know, fun time to be a demo man. And the catch probably not even going to fall in the favour of... I mean, it does, but I feel like that's a bit of a Pyrrhic victory. As, yeah, ToeKos is on 8% ad, and they've got about like a 20-second time advantage.
Yeah, I mean, look, the time advantage here is it's not that crazy anymore. It's equalized, yeah, and I just every time that I see rasgals trying to defend this point, they seem really tentative about it. They actually get forced by Lizard as I was talking there. Lizard managed to get that force off. They flashed quite a few players. They picked up quite a few players on the other side. Andy Roo and Tison going down as well. But look, Shy still stayed alive. Full Uber there on Shy, so they'll probably want to use straight in. But all I was going to say is, rasgals seem to be very tentative trying to defend the point. So it seems like every time they wait quite some time to use that Uber, and that might be why the times are so equal, because I think if they used it more aggressively to stop them even getting to the point, they might have a bit more luck. I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of that, really good pressure from the side. God, Flo gets a disgusting shot onto Lizard. Really good pressure from the side of rasgals, like, to just make sure that like Monster Energy ate as much damage before they decided to walk up. Raylan causing him to havoc behind. They're finally going to cap it out with about a 20-second ad. And yeah, ToeKos is going to get his Uber, the ad fully alleviated for the side of Monster Energy, and so many frags falling for the side of in the favour of rasgals, and they're probably going to cap it out here. I'd say they've got so many players. I mean, Bonk gets a pick onto... Bonk gets picked up himself, but they've got the perfect composition of players on the point here. Pirate, Air Blast, anyone off, and that's going to be it. Second round for the side of rasgals.
Yeah, bringing it to 2-1 for rasgals so far. So we'll have to see if that really makes a massive difference for them. I think it'll help here. They've probably got a little bit of a mental game advantage now. So we'll see how they go coming into this.
Yeah, I mean, not really much happening at the start of this mid. A bit of damage getting traded out, and Sen getting picked onto Shy. That's going to be not ideal. And yeah, Liz getting picked off at the back of the end of that fight, trying to do his best to get a counter pick onto ToeKos. ToeKos quite hurt, but probably looking quite safe right now. Like, Time flew in to try and get a pick for Craters.
That was a 8-player wipe. Andy Roo, the only player left alive, finally going in. He gets a bit of a sap on. And I think that's all he's going to be able to... Has it really... Oh, he got any chaos to really play with there for him to come in on the backside and collect a couple players. So, yeah, we're looking at full Uber out of the way of the rascals. They've got that pool room area, so they have that sort of advantageous area. And look, they're picking up a few...
Yeah, and like the consistent theme of this map has just been the pool room. Raylan and Tal playing so well, just hiding away in the corners, forcing anyone to... And that's just going to be it. Raylan's going to be able to pick off Shy there. I don't know why Tison was so far away from Shy, but yeah. Raylan gets a pick onto Shy at the tail end of that fight. Not really much else happening. I mean, ToeKos finally gets to like stay alive at, in the end of all of that. Uber's about like 20% ad in the side of rasgals.
Yeah, I mean, look, rasgals are looking far more dominant this round so far. Minute 55 left on the clock for them. That said, I think we're going to see the cap go the way of yeah, there you go, going the way of Monster Energy there. But look, JP picking up a couple of headshots there. That might slow it down. Time picks up Turris as well. So that should slow down the push out of rasgals here, even though they do have this advantage. They also lose their spy as well, so they haven't even got that to rely on to sort of create that pushable advantage. They're looking to move in yet again, though, and I think it might just be a really hard and fast men demo Uber from the looks of things. But they've just gotten that Uber now. Andy Roo is in the backside of them there. He has been caught out by Bird, though. We do see Tokos and his demo man getting very, very far forward. The Ubers do get traded on the point. It's just about equal in terms of the Uber. The pull room is popping off, though. Frag's going boom, 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 boom. And it's looking a little bit better for Monster Energy on the tail end of all that scrappy fighting.
Yeah, Bisha had a chance to chase the combo of, oh my god, I didn't say that, Lizard trying to avenge his flank teammate. Doesn't get anything, unfortunately, but yeah, I think Bisha had the chance to go forward, but feared the flow sightline. He had like a good look and at about mid-range onto all the combo players, but yeah, deciding not to go in there. Time in the favour of rasgals, sorry, not rasgals, Monster Energy here, but they're trying to pressure really hard onto the point here. They've got Davey trying to pressure a bit, gets hurt, backs out, but yeah, Monster Energy finally standing onto the point to defend.
Yeah, I mean, look, Monster Energy are running that time down. They brought it down to a little bit of an ad for them, about 30 seconds. See a bit more fighting going on in that pool room, it looks like. I mean, Monster Energy definitely have control of it, but I think surely the Rascals really want to get forward there. But they lose their demo man in an attempt to push onto the point there. I think they were looking to use that even, but they actually use it on Turris. It's a bit of a trade there, but it's looking much better for Monster Energy as the Uber fades on the side of the Rascals, and they lose quite a few players. I think 3 of them in very, very quick time. Centaur picking up Bishop Minty on the back end though, so that might help, but probably not much. I don't know.
Yeah, in the midst of all of that, Monster Energy had the cap, so the cap is all the way down to the favor. So it's 30 seconds, about a minute in their favor, to the side of Monster Energy. Rascal's gonna finally try to pressure onto the point here, and the pull room fights are just. They nearly went in the favor of Monster Energy there, but I think they're trying to capitalize off Rascals. You can't beat them, just copy them. But yeah, 10 seconds left. Ubers are about dead even. And yeah, Monster Energy, sorry, not Monster Energy. Rascals are trying to walk onto the point. They need to touch it right now if they want any chance of getting it to overtime, and they finally do. But yeah, they're just getting cleaned up. Typo time, so many frags. They get an Uber, but that's not going to help because you can't cap on your invis, when you're shiny, sorry.
That Uber was absolutely clutch though to even keep them alive, so they're in with a little bit of a chance. They're doing everything they can to defeat this Uber on the point. They've lost quite a few players, but they still have... Oh no, they don't. He gets pinned to the obelisk. That is absolutely tragic. And the score equalises at 2 rounds apiece.
Yeah, I mean, just when you thought... everything was going in Rascal's way. Monster Energy proving that they have a bit of fight left in them. I don't know how they kept the point for so long. Because Rascals were proving that they were really good at just pushing. But yeah, into the 5th mid of this map. It's gone to the 5th product. And let's see what happens here.
Yeah, it's kind of do or die for Monster Energy here. They have to win this if they want to take themselves to the grand final. They've gotten a little bit more aggressive on this one. They've got quite a few players dead, including Mr. Bonker, and that's going to be making it look pretty good for them. They've kept that point nice, and they've got basically even Ubers. So as long as they control that pull room, I think they're probably set to run the clock down at least a good 40-odd seconds.
Yeah, JP. Speaking of sightlines, he's got a perfect. He had such a good sightline onto Topaz, but he couldn't capitalize on it. It's going to be up to Andy to see if he can jump down and get a pick, but he just elects to go for the pistol frag instead.
Yeah, we do see Lizard Wizard picking up flow as well, so that's going to give him quite a bit of ability to pop their heads out, and it was actually Kritz on Topaz who did use the counter Uber, came straight on through. They picked up Topaz, they picked up Al. They've lost quite a few players of their own for that one, including their med, Raylan coming around and making Shy vanish. So it's looking pretty good still for Monster Energy here, but man, Rascals, a lot of targeted aggression there.
Yeah, and as we say that, oh my god, JP with the... Sorry, he had the gamer headphones. Send decloaked, and JP immediately knew. So, yeah. I was going to say, in the midst of all of that, Rascals haven't touched the point a single time. The cap is still in 3 minutes on their clock.
Ubers are about dead even. They tried to go for like that flank aggression, which kind of worked, but it didn't really materialize. Like they didn't get much actual like cap time or any other presence off the back of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's only half the clock left now for Monster Energy here. They brought it down to 1:20, whereas, as you said, Rascals still haven't even capped it. We see a few frags happening in that pool room area. Typo going down, Centaur on the back end there, just sniping away with the old ambassador. Just looking to see if he can collect some sort of frag. Doesn't quite make it happen. So we're just going to be watching a bit more fighting. It's equal Ubers, but Rascals has significantly more players. So they're able to cap that one pretty convincingly. Like they didn't really have to fight too much after they collected all those players. So that's going to be the first cap the way of Rascals on this round.
Yeah, Ubers are dead even, and yeah, we just see Monster Energy just swarming back onto the point. The Ubers get traded out first used from the side of Rascals and Tokos. I say trade. They didn't get the trade. They didn't get the force onto Shy, so Shy still has the Uber this entire time, and they're gonna get the cap most likely.
Dude, that is gross. So 50 seconds left on the clock. They still have Uber. It's a full Uber. They're ready to use onto the point whenever they please. They did lose their demo though. Flow actually taking out time there, which is absolutely gonna. We do see Bishaminti taking that Uber forward, but does get absolutely skybox by traps. It's an awful Uber. They didn't really get anything with it, not even any ground. They nearly lost their lives with it as well. So it's looking pretty good for Rascals actually. I was really worried for a moment.
Yeah, Lizard behind causing some. Lizard does a really good job of causing some chaos in the backlines. Gets a pick onto Flo, gets a pick onto Raylan. He's going to jump onto the bed. He's got such a good jump. Oh, but such a good surf. Oh, that is such a good surf by Tokos to get himself out of there. Didn't have a pyro. Knew it was up to him to get out alive. Monster Energy cap it out with about 30 seconds left, and yeah, Ubers are 65% ad in favor of Shy.
Yeah, I mean, Tokos and his team used onto the point there, but they weren't really able to collect many frags.
I was going to say, Sen had a really good angle onto Shy, but I think he saw T-Son and he was over.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, they used onto the point in an attempt to slow that one down, but with 5 seconds left on the side of Monster Energy, they've still got the cap. There's players coming for them, but they're not coming quick. And that is going to be all she wrote for this. So, Monster Energy taking us to the third. We're going to have to cast a whole nother one, mate.
We finally get a ROP, so I guess the first mid will be a bit of a radio cast. I'm probably going to have my eyes on time. I had my eyes on Bonk on the first map, and we're going to see what happens on this first mid of Ashville.
I'm on the bird's eye view, just watching this one. We see some stickies across on both of the demo men, nice and early, trying to get some damage, but nothing really happening. Raylan goes in for a nice big bomb, gets taken out very, very early. The first frag to go down. Tal picking up Andy Roo on the back end there. A lot of fighting going on just outside that corridor area, and players are dying on every single which angle. As I say all of that, we see the Monster Energy team just get absolutely turned into a sausage and shoved into a cutting. They all died except for Shy and Toro. So they have kept that over, but it's going to be basically even as they wander back forward on that upper right side area.
Yeah, I mean, Rascals had really good positioning. They had like Flo and Tal on like one side of the point. They had their combo on the other, and it just meant like Time couldn't focus his attention on like one side of the map. Eventually, it was just going to be like a battle on too many fronts, and they got picked off at the end of that. They're going to be just walking in, trying to get a nice trade here. They've got so much balls not using in the face of Flo, and he gets to pick onto Bonk, so their bravery is rewarded. And finally, it's going to be a Pyro solo, Bird versus the world. They take down Bisha, send this pick onto Bisha, NG solo, the uncle, and I thought Tokos died there, but the door just closed. But yeah, at the tail end of that fight, I feel like it's finally gone in the favor of Monster Energy.
Yeah, Monster Energy finally able to get some time on the point there as we finally get the production working properly again. Sorry for that, ladies and gentlemen. So, look, the time is finally counting down on the side of Monster Energy. They've got a minute deficit, though, as Raylan comes on through, just jumps straight over, collects ticks on, and Dot. So he's having a bloody good time with that one.
JP had such a good sightline onto... Oh, you really hate to see it. JP had a really good sightline onto Topaz, but he couldn't hit the shot. He gets another one. Is he going to be able to... No, he isn't. But speaking of failed opportunities that were taken by the other team, Centaur gets a pick onto Shy. I feel like it's the kind of recurring theme of this series. So yeah, that's going to be finally the cap getting going in the favour of Rascals, and they've got about a 1 minute lead as we speak.
Yeah, I mean, it's not looking too bad for Rascals so far. They did actually lose their med there. Andy were able to pistol him down. I think he might have been a little bit low at the start of that battle. But, yeah, I mean, that's going to keep it more or less basically even. Both teams still running Uber from what I can see. So, it'll just be a bit of a stalemate for a moment. All the players back up again. However, Bonk manages to collect JP. Spurkle collects Andy Roo as well, actually. So, it's looking pretty good for Rascals here. They also pick up Typo, a couple of pipes across the map to remove him from the game. So that's going to let them keep running down the time on Rascals here with a minute 15 left on the clock. I mean, they're cheering.
Yeah, the time is going really well in the favour of Rascals. I think they're just content to just sit back and like see the clock tick down. Really aggressive pick. Bishu nearly got dropped there, got taken up to 11 health, but the Uber finally gets used out on him. A bit of a better one from the side of Bonk and Topaz at the tail end of that fight, but as we say, that time gets picked into Taurus, and a lot of pressure. Flank and explosive classes combining to gather so many picks from the side of Monster Energy, and they're going to be able to cap that off the back of that successful trade.
Yeah, I mean, Monster Energy actually really played that Uber quite well. I mean, it was a slightly worse Uber, I think, for them time-wise. But they were able to just sort of kite out a lot of the damage from the other one. So, what are they called? Good lord, Rascal. I told you I'm flagging, dude. I'm like absolutely passing out.
Yeah, you also gotta remember it's spelled with a G, so it's rasgals. It's not like rascals, so it's not an actual like English word. You always gotta remember these little nuances every season. There's always one, but yeah.
Either way, the Ubers look like they're starting to stabilise here. Both teams having a full one as we...
Huge bomb from Raylan. Jesus Christ, he gets to forcing it so much damage, and that's going to be such a more like advantageous trade for his team then.
Yeah, I mean, getting that force there is absolutely fat. And Lizard goes in for a nice big bomb, and the Tokos just barely misses the mini. So Tokos surviving that. I don't know, it's still looking pretty good for Monster Energy here. They picked up quite a few players with just some sneaky little picks. We do see Andy Roo actually picking up Flo as well, who has been popping off quite a bit on this map. So 30 seconds left on the clock for the rasgal. But look, I mean, it's going to be capped back the other way, and I think it'll probably stabilise here.
Yeah, really good flank battles from the side of Monster. Oh my god, Raylan's just destroying people in this fight. Gets a pick onto Lizard, gets a pick onto Bisha for the second time. So he picked up Bisha respawned, gets picked up by Raylan again. But his team is going to be able to cap. Is he going to be able to build them? He wins the double flank battle. Kills Bisha, respawns, kills Lizard, respawns, repeat. But unfortunately his team doesn't have the cap as of now. It's about a 30%, not 30%, 30-second deficit for his team in terms of the clock.
Yeah, I mean, look, the time is counting down. Look, they've got 18 seconds left on the clock if they can cap this one back. But the Ubers have equalised. The time is coming damn close to equalise. It's looking pretty good, but they've actually got a nice, fat solo scout Uber turret, taking that one straight on into the... Did quite a bit of damage to Shy, but not enough to kill her, so she was able to use back on the point. And it's looking basically even in terms of frag. That said, the spawns are a little bit better for Monster Energy here. The time is counting down. 2 seconds left on the cap for Monster Energy. It's now overtime. They have to stay on this point here, or they're definitely out of this. There's 18 seconds on the clock if they manage to cap it, which it does look like they're going to be able to do. The spawns are going to come through for Monster Energy, though.
JP gets a pick onto Bonk to open it up for him, but the team only has 10 seconds to try like push in. Tal's in like a really good spot to make sure that he's going to punish anyone that doesn't see him. He's probably going to pick up Shy here. I was going to say, yeah, nearly picks up Shy there at the tail end of that fight, but there's so many frags falling for both teams, but finally the Uber comes out for the side of Shy. That was, I feel like Tal should have got that pick onto Shy. He had the perfect like timing. He was hiding like on the ramp under, and he had a really good angle, but he just couldn't lock onto the target. I feel like the Tommy Slab kind of let him down with the decreased damage and the decreased fire rate. But yeah, first round after like an eon finally goes to the side of Monster Energy.
Yeah, that was at least the full 6 minutes. I want to say about 7-ish, given the start of the caps there. But look, the mid has kicked off. There's been some frags going on. Lizard Wizard was the first to go down as Bonk picked him. And it's looking a little bit better for Monster Energy here. They've got a few more players alive, but we see a nice big bomb out of Raylan and a bit of damage coming out of Bonk as well. And they were able to pick Shy, Time, and I believe Andy Roo all at the same time. So that is absolutely gross, and that's going to give them everything they need here to be able to push. The point did get capped, but they've used on in with their demo man here. It's not looking super great. They've picked up a couple of players, but nothing really to speak. And it has more or less equalised the Uber.
Got the taunt train going on. Lizard jumped in, he killed Sparkle and he taunted, and then while he was taunting, Raylan killed Lizard and also taunted. So off the back of those taunt wars, it was going to be even, cap in the favour of rasgals. About 2 minutes 40 apiece, and yeah, nothing really much happening. Going to see what Monster Energy are going to do to break the stalemate.
Yeah, I mean, look, they've already started that one. They picked up Center and Bonk nice and quickly with a couple of sweet Flow returning with two of his own. T-Son and Lizard Wizard going down. Andy Roo doing everything he can to stop that from being a major problem. And they do have that player advantage, and they're sort of able to just cap. I think they'll probably equalise the times. It's 2:15 to 2:40 here, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, that push was all Andy. I can't believe he got the pick onto Bonk, got out alive, and then got the pick onto the only other person that probably could have restabilized the combo in the form of Tal. He was putting out so much pressure, and I feel like Raylan also had a really good distraction. But yeah, Andy making sure that that play was not to be, and as we say that, a huge flank play from the side of Raylan, bombs in, kills Lizard, and his team uses the Uber off the back of that. At least I saw some shiny people. I'm not sure if I just was seeing things.
We saw a bit of a trade actually. Their rascals got really aggressive, and they were just a bit too slow to get the force out of Shy there. It was looking really good for Monster Energy, but they just lost too many players outside of the.
Yeah, they're just restabilizing on the roof. Andy gets taken down there preemptively by Lizard. It's not going to be great. Center also gets taken down, so Spy's out of the equation. A lot of pressure, really good pressure out the side of Monster Energy. They've got the pipes, they've got flares, they've got Bisha chipping people away in the little kind of narrow corridor that Rascals are hiding in. We've got Raylan jumping in behind. He's just going to back out here, but this whole time, the clock's just ticking down for the side of Rascals.
Yeah, I mean, they're absolutely cheering about this sort of delay, and oh man, they'll be absolutely cheering about Shy stuck down in the under area just with Typo. They only have to clean up Typo, and that's a easy. Typo taking quite a bit of damage as they use in trying to clean up Shy there. They've got a bit of damage off, but not enough to really right home. And the time just keeps on ticking down for them. They've now got a full, almost minute advantage on the time. There is a Spy behind them that they have just managed to pick up right after he stabs their demo. But it's looking pretty good for Rascals here, I'd say.
Yeah, they've got a full 1 minute ad, and Monster Energy haven't even capped it out here. Bird's doing a really good job of just making sure that it'll take every single last second. Davey causing an absolute havoc in the back lines, gets taken down by the Andy Roo revolver, and they're finally going to cap it out with about a 1 minute deficit on the side of Monster Energy. They've got about a 10% ad, but yeah, I'm not really sure how well they've done at holding in terms of these even Uber positions. Bonk and Co just looking to wrestle control from the roof, like they've done for pretty much the first round of this map, and it looks like it's just gonna be a trade through the shutter door here.
Yeah, we see a nice big bomb out of Raylan actually getting that force really, really early. Lizard was getting sniped as well as he goes for like, I guess, a counter. The Ubers did get forced on both teams, however, so it's going to be nice and equal again. Neither team has an Uber at this point. Andy Roo is behind, but Flo is picking up players. Here we go. Andy Roo goes down as well, and it is looking absolutely gorgeous for the Rascals as they cap this one. It is returned to only around about a 10-second advantage for them, though, at this point. And
Lizard, you have to feel bad for it. He had everything that... This is an absolute flashback to the Proside. He had the perfect jump. He hit like the direct onto Tokos, and he was just 1 second away before he got cleaned up. He had like Tokos in the sky, kind of medic cloak all like flown up, but couldn't get the last frag. Just 1 second too late, and things are looking pretty dire for the side of Monster Energy. They've got about like a 30-second time disadvantage to overcome here, and they've got to push onto the point.
yeah, I mean, it's absolutely gross for Monster Energy here, so I think we're probably going to see the round trade. But that said, Monster Energy are doing everything in their power to turn that one around. The Ubers are just about to equalize with full ad. They have to get on the point, though. They do end up using on the point, which is absolutely tragic, because like you said, you can't cap while you're invulnerable, and that is... We did see Bird standing on the point there, just absolutely air blasting, just for the life of it. Just like right click, right click, right click, right click. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if it wasn't enough to seal the deal, Centaur got 2 really good picks. That big earner is just so deadly. I mean, you just blink and then you get destroyed. You got to pick onto Regia and JP, and a really good bomb from Raylan just completely crushes time in the shutter door, and that's going to give Bonk so much more free room to just walk in. Sen gets to pick onto JP, Davey is just caught, an absolute menace, gets to pick onto Shy, and yeah, that's just a complete crushing from the side of Rascals.
Yeah, I mean, Rascals are happy with that push, I think. That really worked out well. They're finally beginning that cap, though. They did leave it quite some time, maybe in an attempt to delay the spawn. I don't know if it's intentional or...
Yeah, I feel like we got a bit of momentum from the last round. They probably are going to be able to take this round, in my opinion, and then after that I feel like it's going to be a whole new game. But yeah, they're looking quite dominant. They've got a full ad. They're probably just going to let the clock tick down to, you know, make sure that the Monster Energy at least gonna have to wait till they get their own Uber to push, and yeah, that's exactly what they're doing here.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be a bit of a reset, I think, in a lot of these scenarios, because how are you supposed to push in? All you can do is sort of throw players at them head and hope to force. But with Bird sitting right there on Toko, I mean, it's going to be difficult. Like, you can't get a soldier on and that sort of... So, yeah, we'll probably just be counting this one. 80% on the side of Monster Energy now as they throw quite a few players in. They actually do end up getting the force onto Tokwas. So that's going to give them quite a bit of room to muck around with their full Uber.
Yeah, full leapfrog from the side of Shy and Monster Energy there, but one thing that has not changed is the cap time. They're walking into a 1 minute and 20-second deficit, and they're not really looking to change that state of affairs. I think the combo's just looking to gear up and walk in. But yeah, oh my god, such an aggressive bomb in. Time nearly got the pick onto Topaz, but couldn't finish it off. Spurkle, I think Shy's gonna get caught out here. Spurkle's just, oh my god, Spurkle tried to just like cross-map shotgun down Shy, but it wasn't enough.
Bird is just M1ing into... She nearly killed like most of their team right on the tail end of that. But yeah, that was quite a dominant showing from Monster Energy there. I mean, they've still got all their players alive here.
Yeah, off the back of that, Shy managed... I don't know how Shy managed to live. Like, getting peppered down by a shotgun, getting burnt alive, but somehow, some way, walks out with about a 30% ad, and he's in such a good position, and he's in such a good position, but he was so unlucky. He's not had a good evening. It's just been... I mean, he gets out alive there in the end, but Topaz just needed to fall down, but he just, I don't know, persisted on the high ground there. Gets out alive with his life, and Frag's falling on the side of Monster Energy now, Flow and Bird, while they still have the cap.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like rasgals just wanted to edge that point off and get the cap. because, you know, they were sort of staring down the barrel of a nice big Uber. They have picked up a couple of players now as the Uber equalizes. So with Andy Roo down, they're probably a little bit more confident to just sort of throw themselves kind of straight at him with the damage that they've got here. Bonk spamming as much as he can over. He gets in nice and deep. The Uber does get used. It's looking a little bit better for rasgals because they haven't had to flash just yet. They have flashed a couple of players now, I think, as the Uber's...
Raylan's such a good bomb. That is a perfectly timed bomb.
Just the leading shy. Typo goes down as well, and I think that's probably a free recap for rasgals. They've still got around about 30-odd second advantage. So that's going to give them a lot of room to play with, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of needed to know that, like, as soon as the Uber fight ended, they had no one on the roof, they had, like, no one looking up, and Raylan capitalizing perfectly. 40 seconds on the clock. This round is probably going to go on the side of rasgals. It's looking really comfortably in their favor. Save a miracle from Monster Energy. They're doing a really good job of trapping, like, off the choke point here. Bonk got so many stickies on it. Beesh is trying to... Why is Beesh trying to go in as a one-man army to try and contest the entirety of rasgals? I mean, it's somewhat working. They're getting so many frags, so many picks, and they're just pressuring... And JP gets into Tokos.
Yeah, with 96%. You were talking about a miracle. I think we just... Monster Energy able to push this one forward. There's only 4 players left alive on Ras as they cap this one out. We do see Bonk going in for a nice big bomb, trying to collect a few things, but Centaur's the one getting them. He gets time and JP nice and quick.
Shy down to 26 HP, but lives in the face of
come back with so many frags. Oh my god!
And the crits outside of Tokos.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm not even sure if they're gonna need it. Like, I think Raylan just looks like he's going in for a big... There's no way he gets the... Oh, he gets the force onto Tokos here. Huge place, and he's still alive.
That is kind of unbelievable. The rasgals are coming forward. They're doing everything they can to cap this one back. It looked like they've got a little bit of player out here, but they haven't actually gotten too aggressive with it just yet. They're still staring down that NG in the head on opposite ends of the point there. Spurkle taking quite a bit of damage as he tried to edge the point. Typo down very, very low. Does actually go down. JP getting the frag though, so they're going to be in the Fearsville again, but Flo returns with one of his own. And I think that's... Oh boy! I think that's probably going to give them all they need to sort of cap this one back. 4 seconds left on the clock. Andy Roo coming in for a stab onto the demo man as the crits gets used. And I think that's the end of that. The crits did get used, but it was nothing really to write home about, and that is all she wrote for this round.
Rasgals, one round away from the grand finals. Yeah, that was a really good play at the end for the crits. I feel like it was just on Andy to see if he could get like a miracle, but couldn't make the magic happen in the end. I feel like that Uber just went disastrously at the end. I mean, like, they had the full Uber out and they just decided to go in and they got crushed for it. Really hate to see it. Time is getting crushed himself. Those who say that, Lizard doing a really good job of coming in and getting a frag, gets a pick with the help of his Pyro T-Zone, and yeah, a bit of a turnaround for the side of Monster Energy.
Yeah, Monster Energy looking far more dominant at the start of this one. Flo does pick up Reg, but I mean, look, it's an NG pick on Koth. I wouldn't be that worried. You know? So they're able to start this cap nice and early. Probably start bringing that time down quite a little bit. However, we do actually see the players of rasgals getting quite aggressive. They pick up a few players before they lose their sniper, which slows down their push a little. Tel and the rest of his team, though, getting quite aggressive on the point there. The Uber does get used by Monster Energy, but it's countered with a quick use out of Tokos there. No players really going down to speak of, I was about to say, but quite a few of them did actually go down in the middle of that. It does look like it's favoured rasgals on the tail end of it, though, and they cap that point straight on back. 30 seconds on the clock, they can shrug that off, you know?
Yeah, Davey was really aggressive, really wanting to get Shy at the tail end of that fight, but Time just had the perfect stickies to send him sky high. Speaking of players in the back line, it's a 2v1. Raylan doesn't manage to win the 2v1 against Bisha and Lizard, but yeah,
cap in the favour of rasgals here. They've got like time is about even, and Monster Energy just look like they're pressuring the point, seeing what they can get before they can get on the cap.
Yeah, Flo's been hitting some very gnarly shots here, but he is getting forwarded by Andy Roo, who I don't know if they've seen. Lizard Wizard also in the back end of that lobby area, having a back end as Andy Roo gets caught in. JP hitting a nice big shot onto Flo though, and following it up with one on Spurkle. Raylan gets suspended a little bit, he goes down, and Lizard comes in from the back end and deletes the med. It's looking like a borderline wipe.
Centaur just left alive to lurk behind. I don't think it's going to get much, but yeah. Really good Uber from the side of Shy and Monster Energy. They're going to have to hold it. I feel like they probably are going to hold it at least until the Ubers even out, and then it can be anyone's game. These like posted fights have been really going like either team's side, and as you see that Bonk walking forward, trying to get as much pressure as he can. They get a pick onto Andy, and a huge bomb from Raylan. Oh, but the dispenser, it's too strong. I feel like Raylan should have easily got the pick onto Shy there, but he just stood in the dispenser whilst, as we say, that Spurkle decides to just walk off to try assassinate Shy, but it's not enough.
Typo just collecting what, like 5 kills in a row? Just very, very quick. Being able to sort of prevent them pushing that. It was looking like a surefire cap, but not so much anymore. We do see Bonk taking quite a bit of damage on the point there, having to back up a little as Raylan goes in for, Lizard goes in for a nice big bomb on the Toquaz. Does quite a bit of damage, unable to make it happen. Time goes in for a bomb as well, but Tal manages to sort that one out before it's a major. And that's going to be just about it. I think they must have lost Shy in the middle of all that as well, or maybe gotten forced. I didn't see it.
Didn't see it either. Yeah, Toga's with a full ad. It's probably going to be enough to at least wear the clock back down to an even time kind of clock. Really good jumps by Lizard. He jumps in behind, like in front of 2 people. As the Uber comes out from Toquaz, it goes quite deep, but I think they elect to just go back to clean up players from behind. Rather than going forward. Speaking of Type, just shuts down Raiden, poor kid. And yeah, Uber's leapfrogging about a 40% ad from Shy now as Monster Energy look to be gearing up for this push down from Bats. Flo gets a really nice pick onto JP, and that's going to stutter things a bit. Toquaz all alone, but just manages to walk out through Shutter for his troubles. Speaking of the Shutter, Flo's in the Shutter, and yeah, oh my god, Centaur. In the midst of all that chaos, Centaur got a pick onto Time and got the force onto Shy in the midst of all of that.
We have captured the control point.
Sorry, a massive yawn there. that definitely means a lot, but I mean, Toquaz is still alive here, and I think just going off that, it's going to be a pretty quick recap, perhaps, with the Uber, but Andy Roo's slowing them down a little bit, keeping them on their stabbing towel on that top right area as they look like they want to push in. We'll probably see a bomb very shortly as they pick up Andy Roo. Here comes Lizard, getting quite a bit of damage.
Oh my god,
not
Lizard
quite able to make the drop out. My god, it was close.
Actually was quite close, but Balls of Steel from Toquaz. To be honest, like, he had his pyro there with him, but I mean, even then, like, if I was getting bombed by Lizard, I'd probably use. So yeah, about 30-second ad for the side of Monster Energy. Sorry, for rasgals, they're really gonna need to make the magic happen. They're walking into a 20% ad, so they need to like go in whilst there are no Ubers in play. I think they're just electing to wait, like, and kind of spam things out. That's exactly what Lizard's doing, at least, trying to play the kind of spam game, but so many frags falling on the side of Monster Energy here.
Yeah, Monster Energy losing quite a few players, which is going to slow down their push as the time equalizes. 13 seconds left on the clock. This could be it. Rascals could be taking this. The Uber just about to be...
It's and they pick up the Toquaz!
They picked up Toquaz. That's absolutely unreal. The rest of the team, they're doing everything they can to slow down this push. Andy Roo getting 3 stabs.
They need to get onto the point. They need to they need to stand onto the point. It's just a mini.
Oh my god!
Getting the... And the mini's going to win it for the... The mini's going to win the season.
It's
the mini's going to...
It's Lizard. Lizard's the only one going down. Overtime now, and Visha just could not get there in time. You are exactly right. A mini sentry, a half health mini sentry on the bats there was what won that map for rasgals. That is absolutely unreal.